Hey, how's it going? It's Brian from B's Music Shop, and today I've got a brand new pedal, the Gran Torino from MXR. It's a MOSFET pedal set to emulate the style of a cranked amplifier. MXR sent it along. I'm going to check it out for the first time here. I was told it's a tweak and a reskin of the Il Torino, which is a pedal they made a few years ago and kind of flew under everyone's radar. It's not a clone. This isn't something else reboxed. This is a fresh circuit. It was designed by an Italian amp manufacturer, and they use MOSFET chips to make it sound like a cranked amplifier. Controls are pretty straightforward. We've got gain, volume, and a 3-band EQ. Let's take it from the bottom to top. We'll find out what it sounds like all over the place. We know I'll turn it all the way up, and let's see what it sounds like. Before I get going, I just want to remind you, like, comment, subscribe. Those things make a huge difference to a music store like us. We can sell you a t-shirt, a cat pedal. We even have cat toys, all kinds of crazy stuff. Check it out. bsmusicshop.com. Your support means the world to us. Today I'm going to be demoing this with my Reverend HPP Green Sparkle Limited B's Music Shop Edition. This is my bridge humbucker. A couple of the neck tones here. Here's the 2P90s. Here's just the neck. This thing's so new that I haven't even seen a manual for it. So 3-band EQ, low, mid, high, gain, volume. What else do you need? Nothing. Let's check it out. We're going to leave it flat. Everything's set noon. Oh my God, I just learned there's a button in the middle. This has 2 modes. We're going to find out what they are. Freaks me out that I don't know. Like, what could that do? Could do anything. The world is my oyster. All right, let's kick it on. We'll start on blue. I feel like blue's going to be like the lower, just from, you know, I have a sense of these things. I know stuff. We're going to start on blue. Bridge humbucker. We got here. Let's see what happens if we kind of... It's weird to me that low is on this side and high is over here. It's kind of interesting. Blue's got a bunch of gain. So let's try this. Let's crank the mids. You know, this thing's supposed to sound like an amp. Let's crank the mids. Let's crank this. I know it does some clean boost stuff. Might be a little hard to hear a clean boost through a computer, but let's try this. Let's just try some of the distortion. Get you. That sounds awesome. What happens if I take the mids the other way? I got them kind of boosted. Let's cut them. It didn't get as hollow as I thought it would. Usually when I cut mids, it's like, you know. It's still got some presence and like body to it. A lot of times when if I cut mids like that far in a lot of pedals, they're just got no guts. Kick the bass up. We'll do the I'm in a late 90s band. We'll cut the mids, boost the lows. What happens if I like kick the highs up too? I like this. That's cool. This kind of reminds me, and they say outrightly it's not a clone of something, but it reminds me of one of my favorite pedals is the Benson Preamp because it sounds kind of like an amp, and I feel like I can take the EQs and tilt it hard in one way or the other, and this super reminds me of that. A lot of pedals, if I take that tilt EQ or I take something like that and I turn the treble way up, I turn the bass way up, I think of it as the Mike Matthews effect, and I love Mike dearly, he's wonderful, but every EHX pedal has like a sweet spot, and then it has a circus end where it goes too far past usable. And some of those settings are iconic, but I find with a lot of distortion circuits, the preamp section definitely follows that, where like it's too crispy or it's too dull, or it's too bassy. And one thing I've noticed about this right off the bat is extremes still sound pretty good. I mean, it's a little more mid-scooped and a little more treble than I would normally like, but it's not horrible. I mean, most pedals, if I did that, this, that, I mean, yeah, it's got no guts now, but boy, that's a pretty extreme way to get it. Boy, that's cool. All right, I'm going to flatten this guy back out, right back to it. You know, before I'm done, we're going to crank the gain at the end. All right, let's go to red, which I can only assume means danger, or it matches the pedal. Gran Torino. I think that's a car or a race. It's a car thing. It kind of reminds me of an Atari logo, though. So it's more scooped. Oh, there we're getting our super scoops on it with the red setting. Oh, there's our scoop. There's our big time scoop. Again, not my favorite, but it exists in this. That's cool that you have options. Let's try boosting it. Boy, that sounds so different. That does have that, like, you know, Marshall cranked vintage amp. It's just mean. All right, let's do it. We're gonna turn the gain all the way up. All right, let's try it in both settings. I want to hear it. All right, with blue setting, flat, gain all the way up. I like the blue. My vote for the blue. The blue is a little more forward and it's a little more upper mids. That's definitely like my wheelhouse of like, I just want to riff. I just want to riff. I want to rock. Rock. I just heard the song today and this is all I could do. Do you ever have all I want to do is play Love Roller Coaster Day? I don't even want to play the whole song. I just want to do that at work all day. To anyone who'll listen. I like it. It reminds me of like a very higher gain cousin of the Benson. Again, this isn't a clone of the Benson or any other preamp. It's a MOSFET amp style cascading thing. The EQ gives it a ton of range. It's still super usable top to bottom. I mean, this is like the most extreme of the EQ. I do feel like the red is, it almost changes the EQ more than it changes the other. It's got to be like a gain shift and there's like a presence boost or like something in there. I don't have the manual. When this thing comes out, there'll probably be a manual for it. I just get the pedal. And then in this one, boy, I really like how the blue, it stays usable top to bottom. And it gives me that amp feeling where like when I turn up one EQ, it doesn't just change that set of frequencies where they somewhat interact with each other. And a lot of amps, when you turn up, say, the bass all the way, you turn the bass all the way, it still shifts the mids or something different. You know, it's not a mixer EQ where it's very, you know, they stay in their own corner. This definitely has that feel where they interact a little bit, sort of how they do in an amplifier. This blue setting, for me, that's more like what I like for a high gain setting. I'm kind of a mid gain person. You know, I don't like the hottest humbuckers. I don't like the highest gain. I tend to just hit harder if I want more gain, but this is like, that's like what I want when I want more. got some like guts kind of where you need them. I find a lot of, sometimes the gain pedals, they try so hard to be forward that when it really comes to it, they don't really sit nice in a mix, and they sound cool when you're like in your bedroom. Like I think of like the Insanity setting on the Line 6s or something. Sorry, Line 6. Line 6 are great, and the Helix and stuff are incredible pedals. But, you know, some of those old school ones, I think of them, and they sound badass, and then you put them in with other people, and they almost just disappear. This sounds like the kind of gain that sits in a mix and really makes your band sound good. I just like that. That sounds killer. And it's fun. It's race car. It's custom shop. I don't know how long this is hanging around. I know it's a production thing. It seems like the MXR custom shops, they make them so long as people are into them and they move around on them. They're always kind of making something neat. I've had a lot of cool things through the years for the MXR custom shop. Dunlop and MXR just always making cool, solid stuff. So if you get to check one out, try it. It's pretty fun. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Those things make a huge difference to a store like us. If we can get you a cat shirt, a cat toy, a cat pedal, if I can just give you a high five, hit us up, beesmusicshop.com. Thank you so much for watching.